If you want AI to help you do your work, don't make the same mistake that I did. Avoid sounding completely like GPT, and I'll explain how to do this. I have been building out an AI content team that is helping me essentially take one long form video and turn it into 10 to 15 new pieces of content. One of the issues though is that AI sometimes sounds really monotonous. I try and write with AI, and if I ask it to write a tweet or a LinkedIn post based on this video transcript, it just sucks. It writes something that's terrible, it sounds generic, and overall just doesn't sound like my tone. And that's one of the things I've really struggled with. But I found this fix, and so I thought I'd share it because I know that this is an issue in general when you try to do more work with AI. If AI is responding to your emails, you want it to sound like you. If it's writing your tweets or your LinkedIn posts, you want to make sure that it sounds like you. There's two main things that I've started doing. Firstly, break things down by task. So I am building out an AI content team, and I have specific agents for different things. So there's one AI agent that just does LinkedIn hooks. There's another AI agent that just does the body text for a LinkedIn post. There's another one which is just going to do tweets, for example. Another one just generates media based on a bunch of parameters that I set. So it's important to separate each AI agent so that you can train it with more specific instructions and a more specific data set. Then the next thing is that you want to make sure that you build a data set of the examples that you want it to follow. So for example, maybe 100 or 50 of your LinkedIn posts that you've written yourself. It's important that you wrote them or at least heavily reviewed them and make sure they sound like you. You need to have a database to start, right? So you need to be already producing some stuff, but it gets easier over time because then what you do is you tell the AI, listen, I want you to go and find a post that is similar to this idea that I'm talking about, let's say in this video. And I want you to use that as inspiration to write this new one. And so instead of just telling it to learn from your style or whatever, tell it to pick an example that's relevant and then write it like that example. And so what's going to happen is basically it will use a specific source of inspiration and then just change it to fit the new topic. And usually that's going to sound a whole lot more like you because you wrote the original one, right? And that was a really, really good fix that I found. So even when it comes to like writing hooks, for example, I tell it, pick 3 hooks that are relevant and give me the inspiration that you use and the example idea that you wrote based on that inspiration. I have, a bunch of hooks to choose from. They don't sound completely artificial. They don't sound completely AI written. And then after that, I still review it myself, right? And I make sure that I'm going to get to pick the hook, and the rest of the post also sounds like me, like I'm going to go through it and review all of it. So review is an important process, and you want to improve the prompt over time and separate your AI agents. That means that you can then give really specific prompts to each one. Rather than saying you're a ghostwriter or something like that, you say, you write LinkedIn hooks like this. Don't add exclamation marks, avoid rhetorical questions, add very short statements. This is the way that I write, whatever. You can add whatever directives that you want for that specific use case so that it gets better and better at that. And then also on top of that, you have specific examples and you instruct the AI agent to get one specific example that's the most relevant and then use that to write the new idea. That was super helpful for the stuff that we're building out in my firm. So yeah, maybe it's helpful for anybody else who's trying to use AI and leverage it to basically create more content faster. But if you have any other questions about how we're building out this AI content team, or if you'd like something similar, if you are curious about how you can use AI in your company, feel free to check out the link in bio, obviously. Basically, that's what my company does for a living. But yeah, that's it. I will reply to as many comments as possible. So any questions there as well, I will answer.